Hello there, Bic Benedict here. We're playing Ninja Gaiden 2 on the Series X, and this is my Mission Mode Master Ninja Difficulty Guide and Walkthrough. We're currently on Mission 24 of 24. It is also Survival Mission 8 of 8, and it is with the Lunar. So, I think the jumping Azuna drop paired with the Lunar's ET as well as rotate Y is decent as well. XXY I think is probably your best bet for quickly killing these enemies because that will constitute, as I've mentioned before about things constituting standard kills. You possibly get a green for it, so you want to make sure that you can get your combo multiplier up as quickly as possible. And some of these missions, even though you're comfortable with the weapon, things can go quite badly. What I mainly mean by that is if the game is just not giving you what you want. So you're going to have a lot of... Oh, I think this is one of the missions that has a lot of rocket launcher guys. Fortunately, you have the guillotine throw. And as far as what you want to do with the windmill shuriken, I think implementing that would be a good idea. Just because it is such a quick move. But then so is the this weapon's UTs. Its ET is very powerful, and even though you're not going to get as many points, it is a very strong move that's going to kill a lot of people. And did you see how I went over to them and OT'd them? Something that you have to get into the habit of doing, because all those OTs are going to rack up, and it's going to, push you over the edge with what you need to do. But for the rocket launcher guys, just spam the hell out of the guillotine throw. But this is definitely one of those missions that just has a lot of these tac ninjas and rocket launcher guys. Try to throw them into a solid surface as much as possible. But like I was saying with this weapon's UT, its UT is longish. It is, but the ET, and in a lot of instances, controlling whether you do an ET or UT is out of your hands, because sometimes you're doing things so hectically that you're not aware how much essence is staggered in the environment. Or what essence is staggered in the environment. Because if you just have one yellow, that'd be perfect for an ET. But if you have several yellows, or maybe a blue that you're not aware of, or something like that. And then I would say, generally speaking, if you want to use the 360 UT, or if you want to use the standard UT, I think the standard one is perfectly serviceable. It might even be a little bit better. But the 360 UT with this weapon, it does have that instant kill property if you don't do the Azuna drop finisher on it. I mean, the Azuna drop is an instant kill anyway, but if how you have the ability to tap Y at the end if you want to go and do the Azuna drop off the 360 UT. I would say that you probably shouldn't tap Y, because he'll come down and if you have a couple of enemies underneath you, you might hit more than one. Okay, so this is an instance where I'm just low on my karma burst. I don't even have a million quite yet, although we got a couple of greens there, which is fortunate. But I usually save incendiaries for these types of waves. And then fortunately we're not quite at the boss yet, because we have some more of these enemies that, even though they're annoying and things like that, I do consider them to be fodder enemies that you can just easily kill real quick. We got a windmill shuriken there with an OT. That was what we want to do. So we've crested 1,000,000 here, and I don't think the Lunar is going to be one of the weapons that gives you particularly trouble to do on a survival mission. I did notice that coming from Ninja Gaiden 2 Black recently, doing the jumping XXY attack with the Lunar to go into the Azuna drop on Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. It's different timing than it is on this version. It's a little trickier to do on this version, actually. And of course, on that version, you have the option of starting your Zuna drop on the ground, but on this version, of course, you can't do that. You have to jump and then press XXY. So it's a pretty good indication of how you're doing if you're getting to the goal by the time you get to this familiar pairing of enemies over here. You've got the executors with the red Resetsu. Just watch out because he tends to try to jump on you twice if you're close enough to him. You might only see him jump once sometimes. That's an indication of you're too far away from him and he doesn't think he can do the move. But it is a very devastating move to get caught by. So our Karma Burst is pretty much expired at this point, so we'll have to make up for that on the Bone Scorpions that are coming up in just a moment after we clear him. If you want, you can throw incendiaries at these Bone Scorpions, but I tend to not do that since this weapon, you can use it as much as you want to, and I just want to make sure that in case I come up on a wave of Gajas or something, or Vangels, and I get into a pinch, I can use those incendiaries, because there's really no point of wasting them on these enemies here, because the Windmill Shuriken, it's also a weapon. If you kill enemies with it without charging it, you can get other essence aside from just yellow essence. So I think these guys are going to work with us and give us some Karma Burst here. And I think what's coming up is some undead mages and things like that. I've never got too far into these survival missions. I've usually just got about as far as you've seen. But I will have the achievement at the end. Although, remember in mission 14 at the end of that one, I just happened to complete certain missions out of order, so you'll see if you do want to see the actual achievement pop up, it's at the end of mission 14, but at the end of this one I'll go into the actual achievement list on the game's profile and just show it, and then I'll also just scroll over the missions, the select screen for the missions, and just show you that there's a gold medal over all of them. And please don't get me wrong when I do something like that. Also, I hate jumping off trees like that. Scrolling over and verifying things at the end is not something done for showmanship or anything like that, or to tease anybody or to brag. It's just to verify it for the people that want verification. That's it. It doesn't even mean that you don't trust the content you're seeing. It doesn't mean that. Some people just want to see it, and that's what I'm doing. And I want to see it too. Actually, I'm kind of curious because I never thought I'd have it all filled out with golds. Because I had no hope of doing these missions when I started doing them, because I started to just do survival, and I couldn't even get a gold on one of them. And then gradually over the months, I got them one by one. But I don't think I recorded. Did I record them? No, I didn't record them. I think I just did them, and then I set out to do a walkthrough just for survival. And then I said, well, that wouldn't be complete because it's only 8 of the 24 missions, and why not just do the entirety of the mission mode? And I knew it would be hellish, and it was, and I think for most people it's going to be hellish for you. I didn't have any hope of doing it, honestly. I didn't think I would get it done. Not for a lack of trying, but just for practical reasons of being unable to have the skill to do it. But fortunately, there are ways of doing it as we get killed here, and the screen dissolves, and we'll finally have done with the survival missions. So thank you very much for watching the walkthrough. And as I mentioned, I'll scroll through the select screen here. This is the select screen for mission mode. So all of these are, I think it's not a medal per se, it's just supposed to be a gold shuriken over all of those missions. And then I'll quickly just go to the game's profile here, and it's called Master Ninja of Missions. And I was playing offline. I had to put it back online, and it still took several hours for that. It might even been an entire day before it actually populated on that list. So I'm not sure why it took so long, but when it appeared, I was grateful that it did, and there wasn't some issue with it. But it wouldn't have mattered to me because I know that I did it in the first place, but I was just curious why it took so long. So that has been the totality of mission mode. I hope that it helped you, and I hope that it will inspire you to do it if you want to. And I will see you in my next project. And until then, please take care.